Harvard or Stanford? Which one is better? Hi there, my name is Maria Gurrieva. I'm the founder of StudyAmerica, and we help international students from all over the world get accepted to top US universities. In this video, let's talk about these two very prestigious universities, Harvard and Stanford, and how to choose one for you. Let's go. Of course, both universities are extremely prestigious, and if you're about to make this kind of choice, then this choice is pretty hard. So let's try to think about it a little bit, but first of all, one of the main criteria of how to choose between these two universities that you need to use is where am I accepted? Because first of all, of course, you need to get accepted, and then if you are to make this choice, then of course you should pay attention to other criteria. But sometimes it's just the matter of the destiny, where you're taken, where you're accepted, and then you don't have to make that choice, because of course both universities are so cool that no matter where you got accepted eventually, it's great for your career and for your future life. So first of all, of course, consider where you are accepted, and then if you're accepted to both, then think about other things. For example, location. The universities are located in completely different places. Harvard is in Boston with 4 seasons, and Stanford is in California with just one summer all year long. It also depends on where you want to work, what kind of companies are there in Boston, where would you like to have your internships and your job offer, because sometimes when we're at the university will make so many connections that most likely you will stick to this place for a little bit, and then probably you will start building your career in that place as well. California is a lot of startups. It's a proximity to Silicon Valley. Is it something that interests you? Then, of course, the location and the companies that are situated around, and the cities themselves, and what kind of opportunities they provide, and where you would probably better live, then those things are very important in your consideration. And if you want to get accepted to the best universities in the United States, including Harvard and Stanford, definitely check out my free masterclass, where I talk about how to get accepted to top US universities and study there for free. The link is in the description. Besides, it depends on the academic program that you want to study. For example, if you're into IT, if you're into computer science, and again, you want to build your career in the Silicon Valley, then of course it's Stanford, and they have stronger IT and computer science programs. If you're more into general studies, into fundamental sciences, then Harvard is definitely a better choice, because they have a lot of different majors in very different sciences, liberal arts and humanities, in technical sciences, in natural sciences. So Harvard is more about fundamental knowledge, and then if you're into that, then Harvard might be slightly better than Stanford. Besides, it depends on which program you want to study. Do you want to study there on the bachelor's degree? Do you want to get a master's or a PhD degree? That's also different. On the bachelor's degree, Harvard and Stanford are not much different, because they are both great schools. But if we talk about master's and PhD, then here the academic program becomes very important. You already have certain experience, you already have certain goals for your career, and then you need to dive into each program to see what program actually is better for your dreams, for your goals, and what program will give you those skills that you lack for your future career. The programs are very different, and depending on what you want to study and on which degree, you need to dive deeper into programs, compare them, and see their differences. What kind of career they're preparing for, what kind of questions they answer, what kind of skills they prepare you for. So all those things might make your choice much easier. Especially it comes to the PhD programs, because a lot depends on which professor you're going to work with, on which research topic you're going to work with. And here, in your specific program, it might be completely different in Harvard and Stanford. An important part about choosing a university is diving deeper into its culture. And you can try to see what kind of traditions and culture is in Stanford and in Harvard, and it actually is working with all the universities. So definitely they have different spirit, they have different values, and they just have different atmosphere, their student life, what kind of activities they have there, and what students value mostly in this university. They have different atmosphere, and and you can feel that atmosphere through their promotional videos, through their interviews with their students, through different vlogs that students record on campus, and try to see which values are closer to you and in which scenery, in which atmosphere, in which campus you're gonna thrive more. It also might be useful to dive deeper into the history of both universities. Harvard University is probably the main university in the Ivy League, and the Ivy League is extremely prestigious, extremely old set of universities, and it's a brand that people go for. Ivy League, I study in Ivy League, or I study at Harvard. And when they designed Ivy League, they actually made the very first 8 universities in the United States, and all those universities were somewhat similar to Oxford and Cambridge. They did it in British colonies, and in those territory they designed 8 universities, and Harvard was the main one of them. And of course it had a lot of old traditions. It was very fundamental, and that is why it's called Ivy League, because the universities are so old and so traditional and fundamental that they have ivy on on their walls. That's why they called Ivy League. And league because they used to play football against each other. That's why it's an Ivy League. And that's a brand to consider, and it's also a history to consider. Stanford, on the other hand, has a completely different history. It was built in California, which was very close to Ivy League, where everything was, and it was built to be a competitor of Harvard. And at first people were like, okay, Stanford, how can you be a competitor of Harvard? But it proved that it definitely can be a competitor. And it had a very different culture. Just a look at that history kind of shows how they already in their project, in the designing that university, they had this top startup mindset. So the culture is different and the history is different. So dive deeper into how the university was founded, what kind of values they shared, what kind of idea they had when they first created that university. And that also might give you an idea of what to choose for yourself. But definitely the main point here is that the 2 universities are so prestigious and so great that it's important to first get accepted to one of them or to both of them. And then maybe if you're accepted to both of them, go check out this video again. And by the way, I had students that had to make that choice. It had to choose between Columbia and Stanford, Harvard and Stanford. And that choice was pretty hard to make. And the criteria that I described here, I was actually talking about with my students, trying to see what they prefer better. So this can happen, but at the same time, sometimes the destiny knows better. And then if you apply to all these schools, then the destiny decides which university is the best for you, and you just follow where you got accepted. So first, of course, it's important to get accepted, and then if you have to make that hard choice, at least you got accepted to the best universities and they just loved your talent so much that they gave you that choice to make. Thank you very much for watching, and please share your comments about this video. And if you like this video, press the like button and check out my other videos on this YouTube channel. And if you don't want to miss them, definitely subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next videos. Bye bye.